Hey, what up? I will get straight to it. I'm going to show you one of the most powerful sales techniques I have ever learned. It is good. So, if you have a company where you're selling multiple products or services, if you can, sacrifice the lower margin product to sell some of your higher margin products. So, let me give you an example. Let's say that I had a business where I sold peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which would make no money. But we were going to use that for an example here. So let's say I have a business that sells peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I sell the peanut butter, the jelly, and the bread separately. And for this scenario, let's say that the my higher margins, I make my money on the peanut butter and the bread, and the break even or lower margin is the jelly. So what I would do in that scenario is I would say, hey customer, this jelly, you can go down to Costco, get this brand. It's almost as good as my jelly, but it's a lot cheaper. But this bread and this peanut butter, you want to buy from me because it's what really makes the sandwich. So in this scenario, I sacrifice the jelly, the lower margin product, to gain trust, and then sell my higher margin product, which would be the bread and the peanut butter. By the way, my name is Chris Gray. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm an entrepreneur. I make these videos to help business owners that I vibe with make more money. So this is how I learned the technique. I learned it by watching my business partner. We own a marketing agency for home service contractors. That's one of our businesses. And we were closing a client. And we offer multiple services, but this client, they were more in line for three of our services. So let's say service A, B, and C. And so I'm watching my business partner close this client. We're on this meeting. And he's offering up the services. He's offering up service A, B, and C. But as he's offering it up, I'm like, yo, man, service A, the employee over that is no longer with us. So how are we going to, I'm typing this, right? How are we going to sell service A to this client when we don't have anybody to fulfill it? And I can see his face kind of change in the meeting. And then impromptu, like it was just fluid the way he did it. What he did was he's like, hey, so he's talking to the customer. He's like, hey, you know what? Service A, we could offer that, but if I'm you, I would go do this, that, and the other. It's going to be, so basically he's telling them how to go get service A on their own. He goes, I would go do this, that, and the other. It's not as good as what we would do, but it's good enough and it's going to cost you a lot less. But you want to get service B and C from us because of these reasons. I was like, yo, and the vibe of the sell changed because it went from us selling that client to us advising the client, right? So we're not saying, hey, buy this, that, and the other from us. It was like, yo, get this over there and it's going to be just as good and cheaper, but get these two things from us because because we're good at this or blah, blah, blah. But it was beautiful. It changed the vibe of the sell when we closed it. And when that sell got done, I started thinking about what happened there. So the whole point here is when you are selling multiple services or multiple products, if you're able, right? And this is the thought I had afterwards. I wanted to get more intentional with this, which I did, is when you're selling multiple products or services, sacrifice the one with the lowest margin by telling the client how to go do it themselves, where they can get it. Gain trust by sacrificing that product, and then sell your higher margin products. We got really intentional with this technique and it started killing. Matter of fact, we never hired anybody for that product A I was telling you about earlier in that scenario that, the person had quit for. We never rehired. But we kept that product on our service catalog because when it came to selling somebody who was in line for that product, it was an opportunity for us to advise them on how to go get it cheaper and almost as good. But then we could sell our higher margin products and end up being a win-win, right? And so there's a few things that are happening here. The main thing is you are gaining trust. And so this happened with us unintentionally. And so we were like, we had to improvise. We're like, yo, go get that product, over here. And so when you're doing that with your clients, like really advise them. If you do this with the intent to pure manipulation, they're going to figure that out. So we were like, you know what? We've been offering service A over here for a long time when these clients can go do it themselves. And we're going to teach them exactly how to go do it themselves. And we're going to show them in the sales conversation, but we'll keep it on our catalog, right? We are really helping them out. This whole process came from a space to help them. And so whatever product that you're going to sacrifice, make it something helpful, really good, and be able to clearly articulate how that client can easily go do it themselves. Yeah, and then what I'm trying to communicate here is that you got to be genuine, man, because if you're not, they're going to sense it. If you're doing this as a pure tactic, then they might read that from you. And they read that from you, it's going to crush your sell, right? And so think of your services or your products when you're selling to somebody, and if there's something in there they can go get themselves, and it doesn't really cost you that much money or whatever, and it doesn't cost them that much time, then show them how to go do it themselves. Go help them out. Give them advice. What you're trying to do is change this from a sales conversation to an advisement type thing. When you start putting that frame on it, it changes the whole game. But then there's the trick, because you're not running a charity here. You're running a business. You need to make money. And so, you got to be as gentle as a dove and as true as a snake. And so what you do is the product that you end up sacrificing and advising on probably should be a lower margin product, something you break even on or make little to no money off of. Help them, advise them on that product so that you can sell your products that have a higher margin, because you need to make money. You need to make money, but it's a win-win, because now the customer is not paying for something else from you that you normally would sell them. No, you're giving them advice on how to get it themselves. They save money. That's the win for them. And then you win because you're selling your higher margin products. Follow the principle I'm giving you here, because this can be done in many different ways. Like, let's take Zappos for example. Zappos, big shoe company online, they do something similar. So if you call Zappos because there's not a product, or if you call Zappos because you're trying to buy a product, and let's say Zappos doesn't have that product, but you want to buy it, what some customer service reps will do is they will show you where else to get it. And not only where else to get it, but how you can get it cheaper. So you're calling Zappos to get a product that they don't have. They will say, hey, go to this site or that site to get it. It's just as good, and this is the cheapest site to purchase it from. What happened there? They built trust with you. They started advising you. And now you're going to have more trust in Zappos, and you'll continue to shop with them. Trader Joe's, they do the exact same thing. You go in there, let's say you want to buy a product, say, hey, is it Trader Joe's? I'm looking for these granola bars. They'll say, okay, go get this granola bar. It's the best and it's the most affordable. So they won't go and try to sell you the high margin or the highest, most expensive granola bar. They're gonna sell you the one that's the best at the most affordable price. I'm gonna make sure that you know that. Again, they're gaining trust. They're advising you. The whole point of all this is when you're selling somebody multiple stuff. If you can, sacrifice one of those products, one of those items. Tell them, advise your customer on where they can get it themselves. And that's just as good as what you have and cheaper. And then tell them why they should buy the rest of the products from you. And ideally, those products should be at a higher margin. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. Hey, yo, real quick before you go, if you're liking this, I am forming a community of business owners that I vibe with. I haven't formed it yet, but I am forming it. And if you're interested in joining that community, it's going to be for free. But if you're interested in joining it, go to this channel, like my channel or whatever. And there should be an about section. If you go to that about section within my channel, you should see my email there. Just send me an email and let me know. Send me a message. And if you're a good fit and we vibe, then when that community gets formed, you can join it. Again, the community is free. I just want to make sure that we have the right people in there. And then also, if you're liking these videos, please like and subscribe. I don't really care about it blowing up. It's just what it does when you like and subscribe. And if me and you are aligned, then other people like me and you will have an opportunity to see these videos, and then we can grow the group further. And again, the point of that group is for all of us to make money. We all have different strengths. We'll create a community, or I want to create a community where we take those strengths and help each other make money. Anyways, I hope this helps. I appreciate it. See you. Bye.